Hello, everybody. Part 2 of 3. We're looking at Dan's GT3 RS data from NCM Motorsports Park. Dan is, if you remember, this whole video series is Fast Car, Fast Driver. Dan is fast. He's got a fast car. He's running 211s. Check that out up there. He's hoofing it. And we're going to briefly remember how we got here. So if you watched video 1 before this, which is rather long, this is going to be shorter. We did the typical big 3 analysis, right? This is the foundation of data right here. Is right here, right? We looked at, is my cursor working? There we go. We looked at lateral, which is hands. We looked at longitudinal, which is feet. And here's the product. Is our speed trace, right? We looked at the tops of these. We looked at the bottom of these. We looked at maximum turning G's right here, which would be up here, right? The max. In other words, how many lateral G's is Dan getting? We looked at over here for 2 for braking, right? And accelerating up here. I'm going to do that again so everybody can remember. All right? Zoom in on the whole track over here. And let's show a track map over there. What's going on, Mr. Track Map? There we go. If you're not familiar with NCM, there you go. It's always important to have a track map, nice and big. Go like that right there. Really like that feature in Track Tech. And I like this one more than this one. This one's hard to see. If you have to do that, this is a little easier to understand the nuances of the corners. Okay, so if you remember what we did, we looked at the big 3. It always starts with the big 3. If you know these things right here, these 3, you're going to kill data. You're going to kill it. But you got to know it's the foundation. Can't emphasize this enough. Can't emphasize this enough. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add this channel right here. It's another GPS generated channel. And then why it's GPS generated, right here. It's this one down on the bottom here. Sorry, I got my new stylus here. It's not working. What's going on, baby? All right. I'm fired. I'm firing myself. What the heck am I doing wrong? Guys, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have to edit this out. There we go. Okay, so we got our stylus here. This thing right here, it says GPS, is basically this. It's this channel, GPS, plus this channel, GPS. And there's a math channel that basically takes this and multiplies it by itself. It squares it, and then it adds this value, whatever this value is right here, adds both of these together. If it adds this one right here, I'm going to go all the way down and do this one right here. If it does this one right here, it's going to square that and going to go down and add it to this value right here. It's going to put the result right here. So these are always going to be positive because a negative times a negative is a positive. Same way with this. And you add them together, they're going to show up right here. This concept right here, it'll make sense in a second, is basically this. It's the same thing. Remember, down here is braking. Okay, what's up with my fancy stylus, man? There we go. Remember, here's our 0 right here, right? So these would be acceleration, long, positive longs. These would be braking, right? And we'll remember right here, these are right-hand turns, and these are left-hand turns, and there's the value, right, 0.8. So we know right here that Dan's getting about 1.3 Gs and about 1.25, 1.3. Okay? That information is the same that's over here. And what we've done is for these crazy areas right here, imagine if we're going, how much of a tire are we using right here? And these points right here are a combination of how far from here, right? And then how far from here. It's kind of plotting them, right? So this dot right here is this far, and up from the 0 up here, down this far. That's how that works. Follow me. If you're an engineer, you probably get this. So we're going to take a specific example, and we're going to go into the right over. We're going to go right here. Okay, we're going to go right there in the apex of that corner. And I want you to think about what's happening in the apex of that corner, right? So we're at the apex of that corner, and what we can see right here is there's our speed, right? I'm going to zoom in on that so we can see that a little bit. I'm going to put the cursor right over there. Take a look at the track map. See that right there? And what I want everybody to see is we're going to be right there. And that happens to be this much turning, lateral G's turning, right? Remember, right over here. And we're also starting to add some throttle right here. And what that says is if you take that amount of turning and that amount of throttle, you come up with this value wherever that is exactly below it. I guess if we do that blue line, it would be right here, right? It says 0.96. So at that spot on the track, it says we're using 0.96 G's of that tire. And we know that tire has about a, we know it has a 1.25, maybe even a 1.3. I'd argue maybe even more in the brake zone, 135 with that arrow and a high-speed brake zone should be down in here. But we'll look at that in a second. The purpose of this is to talk about this channel, which AIM calls GSum. If you want to know more about this, Google or YouTube GSum or total acceleration. GSum's pretty popular. It's an AIM term. You won't see that term used in any other software except Race Studio. Right here, this is the same exact thing. They just call it something different. Total acceleration. So here's how we interpret that, right? Let's go to another spot on the track. We're going to go right here. Take a look at the track map over there. And the apex of that corner, right? Actually, and what we want to do, there's about the apex right there. And what we want to see, I want you to see this. What that says is right about in here, it says how much of the tire are we using. Can you see that right there? Right inside of here. So we're over here, just past the apex a little bit. And here we are. Let's go right there. It says we're using about 1.13 of the tire. Now we said earlier it's got about 1.25. This is pretty rocking. This is pretty rocking. Where's that 1.13 coming from? Well, funny you asked. Part of that's coming from right here with acceleration, right? And part of it's coming from right here for lateral load. Let's take a look at that again. If you look at the top, right under my Mickey Mouse hand, it says 1.1 lateral G's. And on the bottom, for GPS long, it says 0.2. And if you go all the way to the bottom, it says, looks like 1.2 something down there. 1.20. That's the math. What you need to know is this. Right here, on that spot of the track right here is how much of the tire's potential grip we're using. Okay, what I can tell you right now, as I can see here, is that this car's in big time acceleration mode. So what I'm going to do, we're going to look for some time. Dan, I just found you some time on this particular lap. We know that right here, Dan is going to throttle. Right here, right? Because that's what this means. All right? We also see that by the increase in speed. We also know that right here, this is how many lap G's we're getting, right? And the total use of the tire is right here. So we're going to look at right here. Keep your eye right here. I'm going to clear the screen. We're going to put it right there, and we're going to say we're using 1.09 right there. Well, I can tell you right now, and this is a little advanced, Dan, my man, you overslowed because you shouldn't be going that fast from off brakes to apex. So we overslowed this corner. And how I know that is looking at this GSum right here. Or excuse me, this lap. This right here. We know that this tire can do someplace in here. All right, let me try that again. Start right with this damn thing. Someplace around here is the tire's maximum grip, both turning and braking. And right here, we're underneath that. And the reason we're underneath is because we chose to go to a lot of acceleration. Well, you can only do two things at once, right? You can't get maximum lateral grip and acceleration at the same time. You can't. What that means is you don't max out the friction circle right there. Did that make sense? It might make sense to a couple of you. This is hard stuff to learn, so I'm just introducing it. Because remember, the reason why we got here is like, man, he's looking like he's braking here good. And wow, look at all of that right there. It's using the whole bottom. Look at all that braking right there, and look at all this lateral G's. But it wasn't telling you the whole story. It doesn't tell you about the transition here and here. And we're going to go to one spot on the track that I found some opportunity in. I think it's this lap. And then we'll wrap this up. I just want to do a little bit. So we're going to go right here. I want to show you something. Yeah, we're going to go right here. Okay. So here we are on the track map, way down here. Come on, baby. We're down here. And we're going to look at this apex right here. And we're going to say, how much of the tire are we using? Here's about our apex right here. Okay, everybody agree on that? Let's blow up the track. Matter of fact, let's blow up the track and let's use this map right here so everybody's familiar with. We know what's going on and we can totally spot our apex, right? The apex location is really key. I'm saying there's about there and it's a little later, so it's about there, okay? If we look at our GSum or total Excel, right in here, it says how much of the tire we're using. And we can see on entry, right there, that spot on the track, we're using 1.12. Everybody see that? And that's a combination of this right here and this right here. Do we see that? I want to show you something. Here's part of the braking process back here. All right? Here's part of the braking process, and we're coming off brake. Right here, for some reason, look how this is higher. Look where we're at on track over here. Oops, let me put my cursor over here, hook you up. So we are right here on track. And look at the maximum G's we're getting. It's a high value right here, right? And then it lows down, and then it's higher over here. Well, where's this part right here? Let's go. Let's figure that out. It's right there. All right? Is everybody following me? So what this says is, in between here, we got a high value, and then all of a sudden it gets low, and then it comes back up. Do you see that? Here, and then it gets low. Well, that's the damn apex right there. We're not getting everything out of the car at apex, as noted right here. Tire can do that. Tire can do that. Remember, this is braking on entry. This is exit on throttle. This is apex. Ideally, this should look like this. That is the area of opportunity to go faster. We couldn't see it in this channel by itself, nor could we see it in this channel by itself. But when we add them together and we know where to look, that's the value of total acceleration of GSum. Let's do another one. Okay? This is really hard for people to grasp. But if you start going like getting fast, and Dan's fast, fast driver, fast car, you got to start looking at this. So it's really good in a couple of corners. We're going to go up here because I always know to look right here at this corner. Okay? So we're going to do that. We're going to zoom out, zoom, zoom, zoom. And we're going to go right here at about apex. All right, we're going to go right there to apex. There's that neat shape again. Does everybody see that? It's right here. You see it. It's right here. Oops. This is that same thing right here. So it looks like Dan's getting a lot of loaded up right here and a lot of loaded up right here where he's getting on the gas. But look at that center apex right there. Let me clear that so you can see it. There's about apex. Look at there. Do you see it? Here's what that is right here. This bad boy should look like this. Come on, you rascally rabbit. Sorry, guys. Should look like this. Actually, take that back. Should probably look like this. Just a little bit rounded. What that means is something's happening from here where he's maxed to here where he's maxed that he's not maxing out. This red spot right there, that little Joker smiley face right there, he's not maxed out. And look, it's at apex. That's where should be max lateral G. So let's find out what's going on here. So here we are here. And I'm going to suggest to you, because I know it, if you look in that upper circle there, it says 1.1. That's a higher G corner than that. That's a cambered corner. This should be the heaviest lateral load on the entire track. And we already know this car can do 1.25. Should be able to do 1.3 here. This is a hoofy car, but it's only getting 1.1. And sorry, Dan. Thanks for playing. Actually, it's getting 1.5, it looked like. Let's go back there. 1.1. Okay? There's the story. Look at that. That's that dip down here. Do you see that? So what's happened here is another scenario, and we can actually see this right here in longitudinal. We broke, right? And it looks like we're not doing anything to here. This is a, looks like we broke early. For some reason, this is a unproductive area right here. And if we put the cursor right here, we already know that this is the apex. Let's find out what's happening right there. Basically, we're not being effective from here right here to here. And then from here till we go to throttle. It's a typical sign of overslowing, but we'll get into that later. All I want to do here, guys, is show you that GSum allows you to look at this portion of the corner in and this portion out. Actually, it allows you to look at the entire corner, right? And that's what these things are right here. Doop, doop, doop. I like saying the word doop, apparently. Doop, right? Now we look, there's corner, there's corner. This is something else up here. Corner. Let's see what is this guy right here. This guy goes up here. Yep. Corner, corner. So you got to pull all these together. Got to pull. If this doesn't make sense, that is okay. This is advanced. This is why we're here. Look up GSum in any of Roger Cadell's AIMS videos, or I've got some other ones in here, and I'll put the link in the bottom below. That's it. I'm Eric Meyer. Great job. If you're hanging with us, great job. Keep reinforcing the big three. I'll do some more total acceleration, and next we'll show some additional features of Track Attack and using Dan's data, and that will be video 3 of 3. I'm Eric Meyer. I will talk to you soon.